Dun, 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 dun. Made it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How y'all doing? How you doing? Let's see. Have you taken a deep breath lately? Recently? Today? Let's take one together. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Using my work life balance spray today. So you know. So I didn't expect to be going live tonight. I kind of was just like, I came from work, or as I was walking in my car from work, I felt like spirit was on me and was just like, yeah, make a video about this tonight. Like, I just like something quick. It doesn't have to be super long because I made a long video earlier today. And so I hope you guys check that out if you haven't already. Um, I don't even remember what I named that one, but it was about ants and antsy energy, right? Uh, so today, intro, welcome. This is Embodied Spirituality. Welcome to Embodied Spirituality. My name is Ashante Marie. I will be your host along with Spirit. Um, and this is where we talk about spirituality and where I am just coming here to talk a little bit and, let God speak through me. And the messages are often for me, you, and we. Okay. So I think we're just going to jump right in. I didn't really tell myself where I wanted to start with this, but as I was walking today, yeah, we're just going to jump in there. As I was walking back to my car from work, and I was like walking down the stairs and my knees were like aching, and they were just like aching more on the ice today, which I felt like was weird. And it could partially have to do with like, I was supposed to turn my other light on so the light won't flicker as much, but we here now. We here now. Um, but my knees were aching more today at work than what I wanted them to. And considering I felt like I warmed them up today, I went for my walks, I did my like dancing and stuff and some squats and stuff. My knees were like still not feeling it. It could have been the weather because it's this weather keeps going like it's juggling. This is what it feels like. The weather's like this. Probably what the energy feels like today. If you're catching this, maybe this is why you're here with me. Okay. So as I was walking along and I was like, oh, my knees hurt. I was like, I need to do some things at home to strengthen my knees. And not only do I just need to do it in general, like I need to do it for multiple reasons. Like the goals that I have require me to have stronger knees. I may really edit this light because this light flickering is going to bother me. Give me a second. Okay. I was like, oh my God, this life recording. Okay. And it'll probably still go in and out anyways, but we'll see. So I was like, there's so many other reasons why I need to be doing like getting my knees together, right? And some of those can be like fun recreational reasons, and then others is just like actual like recreational reasons. And then just like life reasons, like I want my knees to be good, you know. So as I was thinking about that, I was just like, also, Ashante, I need to, you need to clear out your goals a little bit. You need to clarify clarify your goals in terms of your priority level. I didn't even write that part down, but that's what we were talking about. Your priority level. So not just like clarifying your goals, like I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. I feel like for me, because I'm somebody who likes to carry multiple goals at once and be working towards multiple goals at once, I have to often come back to the table and sit down with myself and be like, okay, so which is the thing that's the most important today, right? First, what are my goals? Second, how do they feed into each other? Because they should have some level of overlap. If you're, you know, at least in my life, my goals have overlap. And if you don't feel like it does, I'm sure they do. You just need to like look into it, right? I don't know. Say it's like sculpture making and like, I don't know. Yeah, like tech, like IT, information technology. What was the first example I did? I don't even remember the first example. My brain is like trying to, because I was like, should I say IT? Should I say IT? So say it's like IT and like baking, right? Let's pick those two. Um, like both of them take precision. So focusing in, right? Um, maybe even like how things are created or how you're putting things together or looking at things, like I don't know. There's some overlap somewhere. And maybe especially once you throw a third goal in there, like maybe they'll overlap at different areas. Anyways, long story short, because I said this was not going to be a super long video. We're going to try and keep it, because we still need to eat dinner and it's pretty late already. Okay. Um, and I've been waiting to come home to eat the rest of my burrito, but just a little bit longer so I can get this out. Um, message just a little longer so I can get this out. So clarifying your goals so you can prioritize them, right? Too. So I have these goals on my list. Which one is ahead of the game? And right, like truthfully, the goals haven't changed, or the three areas, subject areas, haven't changed that much for me in my life. But the priority levels of where they're at is shifting in my life. So now I need to sit with myself and be like, okay, what's a little bit more important than one other thing? Where do these things overlap? And where is it where it's two birds in one stone, right? Where it's like if I do this one thing, it's really feeding both of these goals. And how can I incorporate more of those things first, too, so I can like really jumpstart this process and then kind of focus two more on the specialization of the different groups. A lot of confirmation burps are coming up too. I felt like when I didn't even know I was gonna make this video, I was like, should I? Should I not? Should I not? Um, God gave me some confirmation burps, and I was like, well, I guess we're gonna be here today. um, so clarifying your goals. I got I'm pretty sure it's Santana, right? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but kind of just like that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like steps, because those numbers have been coming up a lot for me lately. This 1, 2, 3, 4, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like these steps. Like I keep getting these stair step numbers showing up for me, and it's making me, focus in on like what does that mean? What does that mean in my goals? What does that mean in like relationships? What does that mean in, knocking things off of my task list? Um, having priorities, right? So when it comes to your goals, I feel like this is like a time of introspection, like it's a summer introspection, because we're about to go into this winter. First, we're going to go into fall. Then we're about to go into this winter, but you want to know what you're shedding and what you're trying to manifest, because that is like planting the seed, right? And that's the season that we're going into. It is a harvest season for some things, but this is also a planting season for other things, right? And your goals are one of them. That's what the name of the earlier videos was called. It said, before you could even say here now. That was the name of the video. So please go and check that out if you haven't. It's really good. It's long, but you can speed it up if you want to. Like, share, subscribe, all that other jazz. So taking the necessary steps. Once you clarify your goals, then you're able to navigate and think about and get more clarity on what needs to come first. So yeah, sure, I want to do more jumps. Yes, sure. I don't be wanting my knees to hurt. And like, so what can I do? Strengthen my knees and my glute, right? Because when I asked a personal trainer that I work close with in work, I don't take from them or anything, but I had asked them one day, like, hey, what makes your knees stronger? Like, how do you get your knees stronger? And she was like, you need to work out your glutes. And I was like, that makes sense. I would have never thought of it, but that makes sense. Just like as you like train your abs, you should train your back. Like, it's, even though they're in different areas, like your knees and your glutes, they're kind of like, connected and all that other jazz. So anyways, because as you're building your glutes, you're strengthening your knees. So then your knees are good and your glutes are strong to support your knees. Your knees, like your needs. Your glutes are strong to support your needs, okay? The energy is exercise, okay? Like, that's the energy. Strengthen the knees, okay? So, then taking the necessary steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it also reminded me of puzzle pieces. That's why the icon is what it is, right? My thing that I've been doing lately is just like playing puzzles on my phone because I like puzzles, right? And one thing that I find fascinating too is most people, I'm sure some other people do it differently, but most people, when they do a puzzle, whether physical or online or whatever, like a puzzle, versus just like a puzzle like Sudoku or mazes and stuff puzzle, but like an actual like puzzle pieces, like the icon. Generally, people will pick out the edges first and then do the edges first. And it started to make me think about foundation, right? So putting puzzle pieces together, and you have to do it one by one. Like, it's not like, first of all, and when you have puzzle pieces, you're not like, I got 5 pieces that are magically together. Like, maybe you got them together, but like, everybody likes to challenge, like, break the pieces apart if they came together. But if the pieces are all apart anyways, right? They're not just going to magically be 5 together. You have to like put one together with another one and one together with another one. And then maybe you have 2 and 2 together, and then you could put those together and maybe 4. Or maybe you got 1 and 1, and then you just add 1 and then another one. Do you know what I mean? And build it that way. But every time you do, like, no matter what, you still have to put things together one by one. They may come together in a pair, but even before they came together in a pair, they had to come one by one. Message. I hope y'all are hearing me, okay? Anyways, putting the puzzle pieces together. So they had to come together one by one. That was a message for me, I felt like. And I was like, that's real. I love that. And like, people can understand that. Like, that's palpable. But then also doing the edges first, which makes me think about foundation and building a strong foundation. For me, I love doing the edges first because then it gives me a greater reminder of what the bigger scale of the picture is. Maybe like the bulk of it is in the center. Maybe the edges are all the same color. Like, you never know, but at the same time, it gives me a spatial recognition. It gives me like a frame to work within. Like, and then I can build everything inside. And isn't that like so cool? Because that's also relationships, right? So then it got me thinking about relationships and commitment and how and marriage. And I just feel like that's been a theme lately, like in my videos in this season right now. I just feel like the conversation around marriage and commitment has been coming up a lot. So um, then, of course, back to thinking about the foundation, it made me think about construction workers, right? And something that I found so fascinating, which I also feel like I'd be talking about all this stuff in a video already, but maybe it's just being my dreams, or like maybe it's happened and I just need to revisit it again and y'all just need to hear it because maybe y'all didn't hear the other one. So I'm just bringing it forward into this one. But it's just kind of amazing sometimes to watch, like, and then doing the foundation takes a long time too. Like, of course a puzzle can take a long time just to fill in the middle, but sometimes just like going through the process, say you have like an 1,000-piece puzzle, 1616 on the clock, say you have 1,000-piece puzzle, right? First, for me, I'm over here just separating the edges. We're not even putting them together yet, bruh, right? We're not even putting them together yet. We're just separating the innards from the frame, right? Like that's just getting the materials organized. That's just getting the materials organized. Not to mention saying if you have to like clear off a space, say you have an extra puzzle making table top or whatever. But I feel like I have a piece of hair. It was a tiny piece. But then first you just separating the pieces. Then you got to move those other innards away, bring out the other pieces, and now you got to put the edges together. And that may take a minute. Like that may take a second. And it's still one by one, brick by brick, you know. And but then once you get it together, then you're like, ooh, a framework. So then back into construction, I was thinking about watching how these over by where my mom lives at, like for a long time, felt like I was watching them. I did talk about this in another video, but it's still important. I watched them put a frame together, or like put the foundation together of a building, like an apartment complex building with like a garage inside or whatever. And I think it was even those like fancier garages that have like the, you know, you pull in and then they raise your car up into whatever so that more people can park underneath. But I remember, you know, passing by there often or so, or somewhat as often, but it kind of felt like, okay, they're doing the foundation. Okay, they're doing the foundation. Okay, they're doing the foundation. Like, and a lot of that, the first part of it could have just been getting the materials together. Like, you're really just tending the ground. You're really just like getting the land ready enough, getting the space ready enough, you know? Then they start putting all like the steel and the stakes and all of that stuff to create like, you know, some level of framework, right? Then they start doing all the other stuff, right? All the things. I'm not a construction worker, so shout out to those who are, bro. Thank you guys for putting things together, okay, and putting your lives online, because that's some work out there. You know, I know some people may be like, oh, some construction workers are lazy, and I think granted they can be lazy sometimes. But I also think when they really do need to work, they be working. So thanks. But construction workers putting the pieces. Foundation. So I was watching them put the foundation together and I felt like it didn't take, or it took like a minute. Like I was just like, wow, okay, whatever. Wow, okay, whatever. And then all of a sudden, it was like one day I felt like I saw them starting to put up the other pieces, the walls, like put in the drywall and all that stuff. And when I tell you, next thing I know, next time I came around that corner, like that thing was built out, like they had the balconies on the places and everything. I was like, oh wow. I think the garage was already like halfway, like mostly set. Like it was like probably 90% done. And then I came by like not too long after that, and I felt like they had like people moving in already, you know? So just it's kind of interesting to think about how quickly something can come together when the foundation is strong, when you have a guidebook, when you have clarity around your goals. Come on, God, say it. Say it. Okay? In that, I was also, and I'm going to jump a little bit again. I was also thinking about, of course, right? Like knees are your foundation, and pulling it always back into the chakra. And because I feel like it's been about commitment, marriage, and all that stuff, and that is really, I feel like today has really been a root chakra, earth star chakra sort of day, like focused energy sort of day. Um, Earlier I was talking about community and bringing people into your life and like creating foundations there in a way, and what that looks like and being open and spatial for that. And to this one is more like commitment and creating a strong foundation and what that means. Like there's a showing up every day that happens. There's a day-to-day plan, that's usually in the works, right? Even if it's like, okay, I do 3 days on or 4 days on and 3 days off, that's still a plan. And I do supportive stuff in between, like that's still a plan, you know? And knowing to get enough rest when you are supposed to have those days off, depending on what you're doing, I don't know your life, but make it fit how it fits for you and your goals and what actions you have to take towards your goals. Um, so yeah, it just started to make me think more about knees and foundation and how like knees are so important. Like we need it. Like earlier was like hips, but knees are so important. Knees and ankles. Like I felt like my ankle was kind of bothering me earlier, like in the middle of the night too. Um, so I really am gonna try and keep this little short. We're at 22:55 right now. And I'm almost towards the end. I'm gonna get off of here. While my burrito is warming up, I plan to, do some knee strengthening exercises so that I can relax after, um, and that and so that I can work towards my goals. But make sure the reason why I wanted to really come out here is to encourage you guys, 23:23 on the clock, is to encourage you guys and to encourage myself even to carve out some time within the next couple of days, today or tomorrow, really, tonight, today, tomorrow, right? Um, to carve out time to work on clarifying your goals. It is not a waste of time. I don't know why we try and make it seem like brainstorming our goals, clarifying our goals is a waste of time. We just have to keep working and chugging along and being unfocused. Like that's dumb. Okay? Like let's move on from that lifestyle and actually like focus in on what we want, get some clarity, and put the energy towards our goals. So when we do need rest, we'll get rest. And then when we do jump back in, we're not frivolously wasting our time aimlessly working towards goals that are not in alignment with our highest priority. There was something else that came up today when I was talking to one of the students that I've been, working with in classes for a while. The first thing I said today, are you going to bring your best self today? Are you gonna bring your best self today? And I don't always be coming in so hot, to these kids like that. But I came in hot like that towards her because I worked with her a couple of times over the last couple of years in classes. I haven't worked with her privately, but she's strong and she's like, here's the thing. I think it's always, here's my thing. I want everybody to be strong. I don't care what color you are. Okay. I want you to be your best self. Okay. I don't care what color you are. But I think I take it a little bit more personally when there's a brown person, a melanated person that doesn't know their power. I'd be like, are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Do you know how strong you are? Do you know how strong your ancestors are? If you don't, bring your best self. Is that what they're gonna come up here? If you don't bring your best self up here, are you gonna come up here? Can you come up here? We don't know. Did you use the restroom this week? What does your paw smell like? What does your paw smell like? Come here. Are you gonna come up? Are you gonna say hi? Viola, come. Okay, maybe not. Anyways, are you gonna bring your best self to the table? Are you gonna bring your best self to the table? She said yes. I said yes. So, good timing, girlfriend. We love that. We love when spirit works out like that. She wants me to give her some more food, so I'm gonna do that in a moment. But I was just like, are you gonna bring your best self to the table? Because she'd be like, after all this time that I've worked with her, and I'm always like, stand up, bring your confidence to the table. Even if you're faking it, just hold yourself better. Hold yourself up. Okay? And she'll hold herself up. Girl, 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 girl. Sure. I'll let you be if like that's how you I won't even fully let that live. Like I'll be easier and easy about it in the beginning. I'll be easy about it in the beginning. But at this point, over these couple of years that I've had her in class, she's at this higher level. Probably could have been a little bit higher by now, to be honest with you, but she's made progress, and that's all that matters. But I'm like, you still carrying yourself like this, girl? If you don't. And what was interesting, oh, this is crazy. I'm gonna have to get out of here now. What was really interesting, and then what was really interesting about, thinking about this student particularly, I was watching a show the other day that had to do with people and their virginity. That's interesting that's another theme that keeps coming up. Because somebody else was talking about that, and I didn't think this was about to be about this. So 10:10 on my clock, but she was like a virgin. It's like this whole show that's about this show, right? Or about this thing. And then I wasn't even gonna watch the show, but I watched a couple episodes or something. And so the student actually reminds me of what a grown-up version of that could look like in a person if they stayed celibate. And the lady was talking about growing up in a conservative household of that nationality and descent, which is pretty similar or relative to the student that I was talking about. And I was just like, oh, wow, that's the student. Possibly, or like they probably come from a similar upbringing, and she had some tightening. This is so interesting. Okay, God. She had some tightening in her, yoni area, to where she experienced discomfort. And she went to a healer who specializes in sacral sacral chakra energy, and its root too, like it's all of that. It's like the lower chakras, the lower chakra energies, right? And I was excited to watch her go to this practitioner, because this practitioner is, we sisters from a different mister, and I knew that she was going to be able to provide this woman some healing. Like it looked like she was going to be able to provide this woman some healing, and she did. In this one session, this woman, went from something that was so uncomfortable, that she's only experienced discomfort from, to realizing and understanding what pleasure feels like. And I was really trying not to actually talk too much about pleasure and stuff today, because I feel like I have another video that I'm going to be focusing on that a little bit more, maybe tomorrow. But definitely when I was already just like thinking about goals and needs and all this stuff, and not holding back and repression, right? I think sometimes we keep ourselves from the things that we want. Again, I was asking, why don't we clarify our goals? Why do we keep ourselves from the things that we want? But same thing with like, so a discovery for me recently, and this is just me being a little open with you guys. A discovery recently for me was, a lot of times, when I exercise or stretch and do all that stuff, it definitely opens up the lower chakras. So it opens up that pleasure center, right? And sometimes, especially if I'm like, maybe I'm off my workout regimen, but like, I want to do like other strengthening exercises that's like kind of more focused around the XCX word, you know what I mean? And there's just such this like, there's one or the other. It's one or the freaking other, bro. That's why balance is like key, and coming into balance to yourself. If you acknowledge what you want on both ends, even if they're opposing ends, you can then find a middle ground. But like, there's so much of this like energy around. I'm sorry, I'm maybe not looking at the camera because this light is bright in my face, but there's so much of this energy of like this workout culture. So when you do start to work out, people are like, don't work out just for SCX. Don't work out just for that. Like, you need to be doing it for yourself, and you need to be, and that's cool and fine and dandy. And it's true, right? You need to be doing this for yourself. But at the same time, a piece of me, I'm like, a piece of me gets extra motivated. Gets extra motivated at the fact of being like better in bed. If I can do these extra exercises to be better in bed, like, why are you hating on me for wanting it for that? And it would come to a point where I would literally repress myself then from just doing the stretches, because I'm like, I'm not supposed to be doing it for just this and for just that. And I would just be like, well, I'm not going to do it. Well, I'm not going to do it because I don't want anybody like somebody's judging me every freaking day, right? Besides God. And like me and the divine be on one accord. Okay. But like, why am I judging myself based on what I think some other people, them hoes over there? If you didn't catch that video, that was a couple of videos back. Why am I judging myself about what these hoes over there may be saying about what I'm doing over here? Like, who gives a shit? In actuality, who gives a shit? Like, why aren't you just doing the things that's going to bring you pleasure? Why aren't you like taking the time out for the things that make you happy, that gets you aligned with your goals? I want to be wildin', okay? And as celibate as I have gone through these like celibate cycles in my life, as soon, like I said, as soon as I'm ready to pop that, girl, I'm trying to act up a little bit. I'm trying to act up. So what if I'm stretching my splits so I could be doing extra? So what if I'm, girl, what? Are you mad? Who's mad? Who's mad? And if you're a hater, sucks for you. Maybe you need to open your hips. The fuck? So anyways. So yeah, so earlier as I was even thinking about like clarifying goals and knees and all that stuff, right? Because I'm like, not only do I want to strengthen my knees for skating, not only do I want to strengthen my knees for my life, but I also want to strengthen my knees for this good old bedroom, okay? The good old bedroom, and then everywhere else. Mind your business. Places, you know? And I was just like, oh, I'm gonna start calling this exercise or exercise. Yes, sir. Size. Sexercise. Got it. I gotta take care of some stuff over there that I just noticed. But all gravy. So that's what's coming up. So why are we repressing? Stop repressing your pleasure. You achieving your goals is also your pleasure. So clarifying your goals will help lead you to your pleasure. 10:19 on the clock, which means it's 1:19. Numbers. Go towards your pleasure. I think one of the last things that I wanted to say before I really got off here is everything is working out in your favor. In case you didn't know, okay? In case the messaging isn't clear, everything is working out in your favor. Everything, first it was like everything is working out, but God was like, no, in your favor. Make sure you add that. Make sure you add that. In your favor. Everything is working out in your favor. And then it got me back to like the puzzle, right? So you have your puzzles, like say you bought a brand new puzzle, you got all the pieces, you separated the pieces, you've done the edges. You know what the picture looks like. You know you're going to complete it. You know, depending on how fast, quick, skilled, practiced you are at doing puzzles, no matter what, it's going to work out. If you just continue to show up and take the necessary steps, everything is already destined to work out in your favor. Everything is already destined to work out in your favor. And I feel like that's what brought me back to this marriage and commitment, and how I was talking about, you know, getting your manifestations in 3 clicks and like knowing when something is for you and still having to put in the work every day to achieve the goal. You may know that something is for you. You may have it in your hands in one capacity, but you still need to like fill in the innards. You still need to, you know, get the puzzle pieces together on the inside. Maybe you're doing them in groupings by color. Maybe it's like you have a clear picture that's over here that you want to work on, and then you do a clear picture that's over here. Maybe, it can be in different ways. Maybe it's like, oh, you have a horizon line that's in the middle of the puzzle. Like maybe you do the horizon line and then you like move and expand both ways from there. So there's many ways that you can go about achieving your goals. It still is going to come all at, one step at a time. But everything is destined to work out. You have everything. You have the Midas touch. You have the gift. God has given you all of it. All of it. And what you feel like you may not have, one, I want you to look, check that thought, check that belief system, right? I may not have my ring light, but I got my little clip-on light that I can use for my room, that I could bring it up in here and use it, okay? Until I get my ring light. Because I have one at my mom's house, but I need one for my actual place. So you have what you need. Like, stop letting these little things stop you. Stop letting the naysayers, the judgment, the self-judgment, the outer judgment, the whatever, like stop stopping yourself. Do the things that you need to do because you doing them with purpose. Not doing them out of like horrible, obligation, being like or a reprimensive obligation. Being disciplined with purpose. Love filled, love focused discipline, right? Ooh. Destined favor. Everything is working out in your favor and it's destined. It's already yours. My third, oh, it's my eye. Oh my God, is there something else that I'm supposed to say? And even though, okay, really quickly, because Spirit is like, focus, something else you're missing. You're missing something. Even though, like I said, I feel like the focus was the root chakra and the earth star chakra. Another chakra that's really coming up is the heart chakra. And I think that's because of the abundance that like you also have to come into acceptance of, right? So like knowing that you have access to your resources, that's checking, like that's an abundance meter check. That's an abundance check. Okay. Reminding yourself that you have all the pieces that you need, an abundance check. Taking the time to clarify what your goals are, the time is abundance. And you can make time. Like there's no like, bruh, if you come at me with them, I don't have no time to sit and clarify my goals, then this is not, you shouldn't even be watching this. You should turn this off right now and freaking go and figure out your goals. Then you can come back and see me and then tell me thank you. And better yet, don't even tell me thank you. Say, thank you, Spirit. Thank you for guiding me to this video to remind me to go and take care of my stuff and remind me that I have all the time that I have. You have time. Clear out your goals, okay? All right. So yeah, heart chakra, that was the energy. Meter check. The more that you're working on your feelings around abundance, your money is also going to improve too. And that's not even what this video is about. But if you needed to hear that your money is about to improve, your money will improve. Clarify your goals. Clarify your goals. Clarify your goals. Prioritize them. You know, prioritization saves time. And when you save time, you save money. We love that. And then we can rest more. Ugh. One step at a time. There's no need to rush. It's like learning to fly or falling in love. It's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen, when you find the reason why. One step at a time. Hurry up and wait. So close, yet so far away. Everything. I can't remember the words. Anyways, maybe listen to the song. Yeah, I feel like that's the energy of the day. Like, watch the earlier video. The video was about, taking your time too. Working towards your goals, but having patience. Clarifying your goals and taking it a step at a time. I'm so excited. These videos are so clear. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Is that everything? Throat chakra, clear your throat, warmth on your throat. I don't know. All I want to say is just pay attention to, as you're healing these things, a lot of times when you really are moving the energy up from your root, and then it really gets into that heart space area, you may have to try and navigate your balance between how it's going to come out of your throat chakra. I feel like you shouldn't share everything with everybody, so you have to be mindful. But there's also something about speaking things into existence to the right people or in the right spaces. And maybe the right spaces may just be with your ancestors or your ancestor table or during prayer or whatever. But also maybe it's sharing it with one safe person here, two safe person, but like, make sure you think about what information you're sharing as you're coming up. I encourage you to be truthful and honest with yourself. And if that means having a conversation with yourself out loud, to do that, you can do some mirror work. But yeah, just pay attention to what wants to come out of your throat chakra and tend to it a little bit. Whether you need cold drinks or warm drinks, like that was something that was coming up too. That, like, me and my coworkers were talking about, like, what drinks we have in the morning when it's cold. I have warm drinks. And this guy's like, I like ice all the time. So I don't know. There's something about tending to your throat chakra, because towards the end of this, my throat started to hurt, and I'm about to be chewing on this ice in like 3 seconds. It's giving keeping it close to your chest. It's giving don't share everything with everybody. Because I feel like the more I think about talking, OMG, I'm going to have to take care of this thing. The more I think about talking more, the more my throat hurts. And the moment that I sit and I'm just like, let's not say anything. Let's not think about trying to talk, then my throat stops hurting. So take it as a sign. Love you all. Have a good night. Drop a blue butterfly if you made it this far. Love you all. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Divine. Thank you for blessing me. Then and be.